Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be seeing the Copa del Rey quarterfinals. It's going to be very interesting matches. Ladies and gentlemen, the Copa del Rey quarterfinal is upon us. It's going to be very interesting to see what the results are going to be. I think it's going to be very clear from now on because we've only got a few more games until the final, and it could be another Clásico for all we know. If it might not be. So Atletico Madrid is going to be facing against Getafe. They did manage to beat them 1-0 in their face-off earlier this season. However, Getafe did manage to hold off against Barcelona, who are relatively doing good this season, if you consider the Champions League as well. Regardless of what's happening in La Liga, Barcelona are still a pretty dangerous team. So managing to hold off against them in a 1-1 draw is a good sign of strength by Getafe. So that game between Atletico Madrid and Getafe today, when this video will hopefully be released, will be interesting. It will not be easy at all, and Atletico Madrid will be struggling. But of course, on paper, realistically speaking, Atletico Madrid should essentially breeze through the game and make it into the semi-finals. And as for the Real Sociedad versus Osasuna, it's a different situation. I personally don't really care who makes it through. Of course, Osasuna did manage to beat Athletic Club 3-2 in the previous round, and that is actually also very interesting since Athletic Club were the only team to beat both Real Madrid and Barcelona, and they also took part in the Supercopa de España semi-finals before they got defeated by Barcelona. So it's going to be very interesting, but regardless of what happens in that game, it doesn't really matter who wins between Real Sociedad and Osasuna, because we don't really care as a Real Madrid, from the Real Madrid's perspective. But for Barcelona's game that is coming up soon as well, if I were to tell you what I think about the game, I'd say, okay, maybe there might be some struggles. Valencia really made us struggle so badly in the second half after the winter break, where we won just 2-1 in the game where, if you guys remember, Vinicius Jr. also got his red card after that a conflict with the goalkeeper. So I would have said, okay, Barcelona might also struggle, maybe not, but after thrashing them 7-1 in not long ago, I think it's going to be a very easy game for Barcelona. It might be even easier now because then they know they're going to make it through without any problems. They're going to rotate, rest their main players, and do all of that. So as for Barcelona, this is pretty much like an easy job done. There isn't much else they need to do. They just need to rest their players, rotate, and be ready for the games that are coming afterwards that might be a little bit harder. So that's there isn't much else to say in regards to that, because Barcelona again beat them 7-1, so that's done, no problem. So far, Atletico Madrid might be against Getafe might be a very interesting game to watch. We don't care about the Real Sociedad and Osasuna, and Barcelona are definitely going to make it through. There's no doubt about it. But this is where you guys who are Real Madrid fans are probably watching this might say, okay, Real Madrid should be winning the game. We are the ones who beat Leganes, and Leganes are the ones who managed to beat both Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. So look, a few days ago I would have said yes. Prior to our previous game against Espanyol, I would have said yes, Real Madrid are going to make it through, no problem, easy job done, all of that. Same thing with the Barcelona and Valencia game. But now things have changed significantly, Real Madrid not only have lost against Espanyol 1-0, which is a very big controversial game, without a doubt, with the unfair refereeing system, with the bad decision makings, the red cards that should have been given, the penalties that should have been given, the fouls that were not considered, all of that stuff. So Real Madrid in that sense, we lost to a team who were in the relegation zone, who made it out after beating us. Does not put us on a good stance for our coming game, which is against Leganes. Of course, we managed to beat them without really any problems, but the big issue is now Real Madrid doesn't have Rudiger, who's potentially going to be missing a whole lot more than just 1 week worth of games, or 2 weeks, or maybe even 3 weeks. I don't know. We're just going to have to wait until the medical team gives us a straightforward answer. Or maybe he comes in sooner, maybe he comes in later. I don't know. But it doesn't matter because we're not gonna have him in the Copa del Rey quarterfinals games against Leganes. So the guy who's been pretty much helping us so much, the only center back, the only proper defensive player, first team player that we've had that hasn't had any issues, now has issues. Alaba returns. We were so happy he was getting some more minutes. Slowly, the minutes were adding up until the Espanyol game, which he didn't play, which I did not understand why. But now Alaba is injured again. For how long? I don't know. So let's do a bit of a recap. Carvajal is injured. Alaba is now injured. Militao is injured. Rudiger is injured. That is our main four at the back, other than Mendy or Fran Garcia at the left back position. Like, what are we supposed to do now? Our main issues. Okay, we've had issues throughout the season in scoring goals, many goals. We've struggled a little bit with it just because of Mbappe's adaptation, but that's over. Our front line is very strong, very dangerous. Our midfield has adapted to having someone like Vinicius and Mbappe and Rodrigo and Jude and all these big names. Okay, now that's fine. We've had a big defensive problem since the very beginning of the season, but now we have an even bigger problem. We don't have Rudiger. The guy who was supposed to come back and play is now injured. I just hope it doesn't become another Neymar situation, if you get what I mean. So what options does that leave for us in defense? That leaves us Lucas Vasquez, Mendy, Fran Garcia, Asensio, Tchouaméni, and Jesus Vallejo, who has not played except for like 10-20 minutes so far this season only. Who are we going to? We can't play Mendy in the centre back position. We can't play Fran Garcia in the centre back position. We're already forced to play with Tchouaméni in the centre back position, who's playing absolutely terribly. Asensio is the best option, who should always be starting regardless of whether or not Tchouaméni is available or not. And yeah, he's the only one we're confident in. Lucas Vasquez, I'm getting a little bit more confidence from him because he's actually playing amazingly well, surprisingly well, I should say. He's improved a lot, so I feel a little bit like comfortable. But who else? Tchouaméni he's not reliable. He's not improving. He's not showing that he can step up. So where does that leave us in the Copa del Rey? Well, I predict that either there's going to be a high possibility we're going to lose in the Copa del Rey quarterfinals. There's that possibility is very high. Unless Real Madrid just do one thing and one thing only. Score 1-2 goals very, very early on. Maybe even a third goal. Have a lead and just sit at the back. That's all we need to. Just let Leganes control the ball. Let them have the possession. We don't care. That's all we need to do. Score a goal. Score 2 goals. And if anything, and if we're sitting back heavily, parking the bus basically, we just gotta play long balls to Mbappe and Vinicius. That's all we gotta do, because there is no way we're gonna be able to defensively handle even a low-ranked team like Leganes, let alone the teams that are coming up afterwards, like Atletico Madrid and Manchester City. So there's no chance we're gonna be able to really hold on to it unless Alaba comes back. Maybe it was a false alarm or something. Maybe they're just taking a little bit of precautions, So yeah, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But this is pretty much what I think that's going to happen in the Copa del Rey quarterfinals. You would assume Real Madrid's game would be the easiest one alongside of Barcelona. Atletico Madrid versus Getafe. It might be a little bit hard for Atletico, but they'll still get the win, and we don't really have an opinion about Real Sociedad versus Osasuna because that's just irrelevant for us. We're looking at the three main teams, the three top teams of the table right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I'm interested to hear what you have to say, especially after all the injuries, especially after all the problems that we're having. Again, people are saying that that we're not doing great. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, but this is we have a valid excuse. That is, we basically don't have any more defensive players. If Fran Garcia, Mendy, or Lucas Vasquez gets injured, we don't have any defense. We just don't have any defense. Asensio can't hold the back line on his own. He's just a 21-year-old academy player who just got brought up into the first team because we don't have anyone. So let's just hope for let's just be optimistic. That's all. That's the only thing we could just say right now. So yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.